don't know what's going on. I don't know what's going on. All right, well. Oh, there we go. No. We'll give them a minute, see if they come through. See if Google's still mad at me from yesterday. I said they need to be broke up. Google doesn't like that. They like the relationship. Google like the relationship they have with the humans. Wait. No, Google might wait, did y'all let me in? Y'all might let me in. Hang on. Let me see. They let me in. Yeah, they let me in. They're not that mad at me. But sometimes you gotta break up. Oh, poor Google. All right, there we go. Yeah, I believe break up the monopolies. That was yesterday. They probably had a review board real quick. The AI all got together to try to figure out, are we gonna let this broadcast go on? He said break up the monopolies yesterday. AI at the meeting, because the AI, they tell everybody what to do. The robots in control. They're all in control. Has nothing to do with us. Down the damn street, the giant got a 6-foot robot driving around telling the humans what to do. The human is a spill right here. Y'all need to come clean this up. His name is Marty. And the kids love him. He's just fun. All right, anyway. Yeah, that's the world we live in. All right. Okay, I see Brother Gustin's over there. Okay, good. But I don't see it working. Hang on. Let's see if we can bring you into the there you go. Boom! All right, we good to go. We got everybody here. All right, y'all bring all your friends and family, everybody. Everybody y'all been fighting with. All right, here we go. Y'all remember that time at band camp? I'm gonna have to go quick. I had a lot to get through this morning. Y'all remember that? Oh, no, before band camp, before we get there. Well, I guess it's still all related. I think the ants are more evolved than us. I was busy watching an ant documentary, figure out how to fix the human world. So, I might be wrong. I hashtag just might be damn wrong. You know, I'm not a fan of your government. I don't like being controlled. I don't like your kings and your lords. I don't like to be told what to do. I don't like none of that. It's okay, Dan, you're late. I'm late as hell. Nah, you late, bro. I don't like to be told what to do. I'm not a government person. Like I said, I say that I was a facilitatement person. We need someone to help facilitate human beings on the planet that's not prejudiced and bigoted from a national, racial, religious perspective, but somebody who is just a human damn being. I think I'm wrong. I think I might be wrong. I was following a thread, and I think I pissed a bunch of people off, although I didn't lose too many friends over that post. And I said, why do we need labels? Of course, everybody went this way, that way, the other way, flip-flop, yell, scream. I'm proud of this, I'm proud of that, is that, but did your mama give you that and your daddy give you that, or did you do that? Is that you, is that them, is the banks, is it your poverty, is because you went to college, you got a degree, this what you think this, you're going through the indoctrination. It was a great post, by the way. I was enjoying reading all the comments, and I read to a comment this morning. I want to say it was Brother Jason, and who else was in that post? Damn it, hold on. Give credit where credit's due. I don't reply to everything, but I kind of try to read through posts. That's how I learn. Jason, somebody else. I'm sorry if I don't say your name. I like to give credit where credit is due. However, I got so many daggone post things here, I can't even read through them. Anyway, the point was we were going back and forth on labels. And Jason made a good point. He was talking about being organized. Oh, I wish I could go to it. I don't like wasting people's time, but it was rather a deep statement that had me thinking I might be wrong. All right, here we go. Click right here, see if this will take me to the comment. Oh, where's Brother Jason? Here we go, right here. Here we go. He said we need labels because temporary perceptions are the only reality, and labeling helps us remember, organize, and communicate. However, labels are not permanent. Each moment is an opportunity for redefinition and reassessment and relabeling. Of course, we proceeded to lash him. Who was with me on that one? I was like, we love Brother Jason, love him to death. Brother Monty and I, we proceeded to lash him a little bit. Like, no, you can label the rocks. You can label the I guess you can label monkeys. It's not nice. You can not the 98% monkeys, the 100% monkey. You label cars, label houses, I guess you can label the trees, it doesn't really fit, but you can try, you can call it this, that, a tomato. It's not actually a tomato. Everyone is completely different, but that's a whole nother discussion. Genotyping, phenotyping, and kenotyping. I won't get into it. But you can label inanimate objects. Label things that don't change, but things that are dynamic, your labels never work. 'Cause by the time you actually label and get everybody together, go rob somebody else, get your pride in your label, it's too late. They didn't change. They changed. It's wrong. It's disrespectful. We're not supposed to label things. But he had a point. Well, he made me think a little bit on the organization part, because I think about facilitatement, right? And he says, and labeling helps us remember, organize, and communicate. It definitely helps us remember prejudice and bigoted things. It definitely helps us communicate by grouping people together in groups they actually shouldn't be in. But it helps us to organize. I was thinking about that. He's right, it does help us to become more organized. But is the issue who's doing the organizing? And if those creatures want to be organized, why do we want to be organized? Like, I'm questioning my facilitatement. Why do I need a facilitatement? Why does the human beings need a facilitatement? Why do I feel the need that I need to impose my hippie, love everybody, facilitatement on everybody? Some of y'all don't want to be facilitated, right? Because I was looking at the post and I was thinking about it. It's like, yeah, it helps us to organize. But what if I don't want to be in your organization? What if I don't want to be under Obama, Trump, and the Federal Reserve? There's employees of the Rothschilds, by the way. But what if I don't want to be under them? What if I'm not interested in your organization? And it got me thinking about a higher evolved species, ants. Because I'm a believer in independence, liberty. You're born, you go do your thing. Just don't hurt anybody else, and your thing will benefit us, benefit the collective. I was thinking about ants. Ants, do they have police? Ants ain't got no police. Ants are just born. They're born free. And they just go do what they're good at. They follow their passions. If they got the mandibles, they go proceed to fight. If they don't, they don't fight nobody that have mandibles. They'll go collect food. They'll go scout. They'll go find your peanut butter and jelly sandwich. Come back, tell everybody else, where is that? So you better move it within 5 minutes or you'll have an army of ants coming. But they're born independent. They're allowed to do the things that they want to do, their passions. Nobody's telling an ant what to do. Nobody's organizing ants. Ants aren't an organization. There is no ant police. There is no ant government. You got a queen, but she's born that way. This is what she can do. She can pop them babies out like some Americans. They realize they get money for popping them out, but just jack them up because ain't enough people raise them. And they're born in society and nobody gives a damn about them. Maybe human beings are like that. Maybe we really don't need a facilitator. Maybe we don't need to be organized. Maybe we just need to be left alone. Maybe everybody has the things that they need to provide for the collective to make us better. So I think I'm backing down from my facilitator idea. We don't need a government. I don't think we need a facilitator. I think we just need to leave everybody the hell alone. I don't think we need to be organized. I don't think we need to be an organization because organizations are the root of all the problems. That leads me to one time at band camp. One time at band camp, y'all remember that time? Anybody remember that time where Pfizer found a cure for Alzheimer's? The human plague. Y'all remember that time? One time at band camp, the big pharma companies are finding cures for why y'all are dying and they're not sharing them with you. Y'all remember that time? Remember the time at band camp we decided to keep the monetary systems, we decided to keep the Federal Reserve, we decided to keep Rothchild, Rockefeller world, and they literally, because we kept it, we created these things called organizations that organize human beings to hide cures from us that people die from. Y'all remember that time? Yeah, that time is today. That's
An estimated 44 million people worldwide have Alzheimer's or a related form of the disease, and so far there are no medications that can stop it. Now the drug company Pfizer reportedly discovered a medication that it could help prevent the disease. But Pfizer chose not to make that information public. Legal journalist Molly Burrows, a contributor with America's Law.
Why would they do such a thing? Why would an organization decide to hide from you the thing that makes the last 20 years of your life almost useless to you as an independent person? Why would they do that? Why? That's just evil.
Lawyer has more on why that decision was made. I tell you, Molly, this infuriates me as a family that's had to deal with Alzheimer's personally. The fact that we could find a way to prevent it just infuriates me that a company would hold back. But what's the medication that Pfizer found out appeared to help with Alzheimer's?
Yes, this is an interesting story, and it's layered like a lot of stories are, but it's, to answer your question, it's the company's hugely successful rheumatoid arthritis therapy drug, Enbrel. It's a powerful anti-inflammatory drug that Pfizer said seemed to reduce the risk of Alzheimer's by, get this, 64%. Well, they stumbled upon these results after analyzing hundreds of thousands of insurance claims. However, according to a report from the Sydney Morning Herald, the drug giant chose not to pursue a clinical trial to verify if the drug was actually having that effect. So for decades, as you've said, and billions of dollars later, pharmaceutical companies have been researching drugs that could have helped prevent or possibly stop the disease. They're trying to find that miracle drug, if you will, but so far the best they can come up with is to provide medicine that slows down the symptoms. So finding a medication that could potentially stop or prevent this illness is extremely lucrative if it were to be discovered, not to mention life-changing for people who are affected by this, millions. So by 2050, it's estimated as many as 16 million Americans could have some form of Alzheimer's. So it is certainly a very viable, marketable option, but Pfizer decided not to pursue this.
Well, I probably don't want to hear this answer, especially those who've ever had to deal with Alzheimer's. Why would specifically Pfizer opt out of pursuing Enbrel's potential as a prevention drug for Alzheimer's?
All right, I'm gonna stop there. I can't show the whole thing. I'm in a rush this morning, but you know why? Money, 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 money. We've organized a world that's evil, just evil, cruel, and okay with people just living in just horrible conditions. We don't care about children, don't care about old people, we don't care about women, we don't care about anything. Let's just be honest. We don't care about the kids in Yemen, we don't care about the kids in the trailer park, don't care about the kids in the barrio. We don't care about anything other than money, because we're organized for money. We're organized for greed, right? And this is why I have hope. This is why, because they're doing this stuff that's just so ridiculously foul. So ridiculously foul. They don't care. They don't care. And then all that make, you know what, when I hear stuff like this, it makes me think about all them rumors about how they cured AIDS and they cured all the conditions, the cancer and everything. Like when stuff like this happens, this is when plausibility is supposed to kick in. You think about all those conspiracy theories where they're conspiring against us. You're crazy conspiracy theorists. And yet these corporations, these organizations are designed for conspiracy. Cures don't make money. Keeping you sick and drugged makes tons of money. Why would they do that, somebody asked? Money. Money and we consent. Money and we consent. Money, because they like money, we like money. And this is what it looks like when you organize against each other and you're in conflict over energy. That's why I talk about energy all the time. It's energy. It's not really money. It's just energy. Money is just a representation. Everybody's fighting over energy. I'll post a link. You can watch the rest of it later. There's a whole lot to get through this morning. So I have to read a comment every time I post something, and that way I can make sure I'm in sync with the crowd here. And then I move on to the next. Talk about miracle cures, but actually practice disease management. That is what is lucrative. Thank you, Brother Ron. Question answered, done deal. As long as you got a pharmaceutical industry, you will not have cures. Why? Because they don't make money curing anything. They make money keeping you sick. So it's lucrative to keep making drugs that keep you alive, that keep you in miserable pain, or take away some of the pain, or just enough pain, but not allow your body to heal itself, as well as keep the natural herbs and the cannabis, somebody said a little earlier, from you. As long as you got a pharmaceutical industry, which is highly fixable, they're not evil, they're fixable, it's just a system. I'm not anti-pharmaceutical industry, I'm not anti-people in big pharma, I used to work in big pharma. I'm anti not curing plagues because it's profitable. That's what I am. I'm anti taking away the last 30 years of people's lives because you think you want to drive a nicer car. You think you deserve a little more than everybody else. So that's one thing. Brother Ron already answered that question. Let's move on to Donald J. Trump. Johnny T. What's he doing? He's doing tariffs. Everybody mad about the tariffs. Again, I love tariffs. Can we have more tariffs, please? I would like, what's that little orphan Oliver? Sir, can I have more tariffs, please? Tariffs are good, delicious, and great. You need more tariffs. Not the way he's doing them, but you need tariffs across the board. Why you need tariffs across the board? Because they're great for small business. They're great for local makers. They're great for growers. Why is that a good thing? Well, because our currencies are collapsing. That's why. Why? Because they're all based on the dollar. The dollar is based on the Federal Reserve. That's Rothchild central banking, and they're collapsing everything. The same way they were doing during the Great Depression when they made a call on the credit and they bought up massive corporations for pennies on the dollar. The good thing is the humans didn't die, because back then 80% of them were farmers. Nowadays less than 3% are farming today, and can nobody grow no damn food. So why are tariffs good? Because tariffs make people sustainable. Tariffs, like I think in this article, I really don't want to go through it. You can watch it. The Democrats fighting the other side. They said Democrats going to swing to the Democrat side strong because the tariffs are going to make car prices go up by $1,300 per car or something. I'm like, great, that's awesome. That's great. Why? Because you shouldn't have slaves making your cars. That's why. You shouldn't have people in Mexico slaving for you. The same reason cotton clothing was cheap back during cotton slavery. Same reason rubber in Vietnam was cheap during rubber slavery. The whole purpose of the Vietnam War. You should not have slaves, dummy. Love you to death, but you shouldn't have slaves, and you shouldn't have slaves making your cars. Besides the fact tariffs are good, because it means that people in your own damn country can make some cars. It means that people in your own damn country can be more sustainable and not buy a new car. It means people in your own damn country can fix their car, learn how to change their oil or fix a tire instead of throwing the car out and buying a new one because they work for Big Pharma that's hiding cures to the plague. And they're making six-figure incomes. Want to drive a nicer car than you. Drive around in that slave chariot. So I like tariffs. Tariffs are great and delicious and nutritious for you. Absolutely bring tariffs on more. And the other thing is, tariffs make people more sustainable. It makes them more grounded. It makes them put in victory gardens. It makes them grow a little bit of food. It makes them not be so damn wasteful. It helps local makers and growers. And so when this currency finally collapses, they collapse the dollars and do this Rothchild business run, it means less people will die. Because now you have farmers who are actually growing food in your country instead of soy and corn to sell to other nations and make sugar. You get farmers can go back to growing tomatoes, little organic farmers. So when the currency collapses, people can keep eating. And a good thing about people keep eating is they're not coming to your house to eat you. They don't become zombies to eat your food and kill you. So it's a great thing. Across the board, apply more tariffs, but let me get a little cut of that real quick.
Is willing to do whatever is needed to avoid crippling U.S. tariffs. But President Trump yesterday in London doubled down on his threat. Now, according to POTUS, Mexico still has its work cut out of it, stopping illegal immigration, and the 5% tariffs he threatened are still very much on the table. But on Capitol Hill, the mood couldn't be more different. That much is clear after blistering comments, even from the president's traditional allies, like Mitch McConnell and others, say they're going to fight tooth and nail to block the tariffs. So who holds the cards here? Is it a full deck, actually? Anytime we talk about anything in D.C., does the infighting undermine our nation's national security?
Okay, I'm done. I can't. That's the most I can do. I can't. They start talking about Democrats and Republicans like they're any different. They all the damn same. What did Ivana say? Question. It's too late to try to switch back to self-sustaining countries and economies. That's the past. Ivana, we have two choices, extinction or we switch back. What do you want to choose? And we can choose. It's never too late. We got robots and automation. We can grow food. We can be self-sustaining economies. Besides the fact, this planet likes to get hit by asteroids. I don't know why. Ask the planet. It like to fly through places, and comets like to hit it, and it kills off people. And the same reason Puerto Rico ran into major problems and 3,000 people died is because they weren't sustainable. So we can be sustainable. We really don't have a choice. We're lazy. We don't like to grow food. We don't want to put our hands in the dirt and feet in the dirt. We need to, or we're going to die. Not just us. We can grow our own food, but our neighbors will come and kill us and eat the food. And when they run out of food, they're going to eat us. We got to go back to being sustainable. This is why all of our ancestors told us how to grow food, how to dry food. And besides, it's only a temporary thing. We got robots and automation that can do it, but we need to be self-sustaining individual colonies all over the planet. That's how we make it as a civilization. Like, look at the ants. Back to the ants. Great example. Why are ants still here? Because you can kill as many ant colonies as you want, and they're all sustainable. They buy local. They buy fresh and organic. Yeah, sure, they send scouts out to steal other people's food, but they're independent, commoditized groups, and together they make up a whole that keeps the ant world rolling. They outnumber us 1,000,000 to 1. We can pay attention to them. If you make a local, sustainable group, then if one group loses out, if half the groups lose out, all the other groups are going, right? If everybody got their own tomatoes and cucumbers and solar energy and power and everything, then we are strong as a human race. But if we're all dependent on each other, if we need Russia, what do we need Russia for? I don't know, we need Russia. What they grow? They grow them Russian tomatoes, those are delicious. We need Mexico, they grow the peppers, those are delicious. We need China, because they got all the rare earth minerals. But you know what, if the people in China die because an asteroid hit in China, we don't have any rare earth minerals, we can't make solar panels, we can't make slave cars, we can't make smartphones. They hit Mexico, the asteroid hits Russia, the whole world can just die, right? Like, sustainable systems need to be independent components that work well at the community level. I don't play nations. I don't care nothing about nations. Nations are a figment of people's imagination that are slaves for the Rothschilds. I don't believe in nations. I believe in communities. Lots of small, sustainable communities, and we are there now. We can do that any day we want. We can build communities that have their own energy, they have their own water, they provide their own food, and they take care of each other. That's how we make it as a human race. But if we build a global economy, this globalization model of colonizing, killing people and stealing what they got and getting them on Rothchild banking, we're all gonna die. Because then we become world dependent upon each other, because you got a few people at the top who want everything, everything. Speaking of the Rothschilds, there was something I thought was great, fantastic, nutritious, and delicious outside of the fact, hang on, I'll show you what I'm looking at. Outside of the fact that, hang on, let me move over here, get through this real quick, because there's a whole bunch of stuff. I'm not even sure I got time to get through all of it. The ants, yes. The apps, oh, what was this? This was the apps. Oh yeah, the FBI got your pictures, let everybody know. The FBI got your dirty pictures, your nasty pictures, all your little sexting, texting, all of that stuff, because that's the world we live in. Remember that time at band camp where the FBI sat back and looked at little dirty pictures because you had a mole in your booty and took a picture of it and you just want to see what it looked like because you couldn't see it because you couldn't turn around and did the mirror? Yeah, I never did nothing like that. I ain't never do that. The FBI got your pictures because it makes sense. That's the world we have. Deutsche Bank seizes Venezuelan gold, right? Venezuela's having problems. Why? Because America's starving them under the Obama administration and Trump administration, which I'm saying that the administrations don't matter at all. They're all doing the same damn thing. You starve people, those people get upset, they topple the country, everybody gets raped and destroyed, blow things up, destroy economy, kids starve, and it's a good thing because it means America can go and steal your resources for the Rothschilds while Americans are starving. So that's not it. That's not what I wanted to show. I wanted to show something I found highly interesting this morning. Other stuff. What was, oh, this is the cowardly cop thing. Did y'all hear about this? This is the guy in Florida during the shooting, the mass shooting at the, I forgot the name of the school, but this was the security guard in the school that had the gun and he was trained. And when the child came in there with the assault rifle and started shooting everyone up, Parkwood, Parkland, Park, something like that, the little kid with the assault rifle started coming, murdering everybody's babies. Then the police officer, the security guard, know what he did with his gun? He took his gun and went, found a closet and hid. I think he hid in the closet. Then he went to go hide. He was a coward. And so now finally they're trying to criminalize, they're trying to say he's criminal. He's not a criminal, he's just a coward. This is what you get when you put people in power who are cowards. They do things like they don't go to war, but they'll start a lot of wars. They'll go do things like when it's time to defend your young, they'll go hide in the damn closet. Hidden there for 40 minutes, I understand. So they're trying to prosecute him. I don't think you need to prosecute him. You just need to get him out of power, along with your Congress and Senate, all the other cowards and your presidents and your prime ministers. Get them out. Why? Because when you put people in places of power who are obvious cowards, you're gonna have problems. And when you got starving kids in the Appalachian Mountains and dirty water, can't be drunk in Flint, Michigan, and indigenous women being raped and murdered all over Canada, the United States, what do cowards do? They go hide in closets. That's exactly what they're doing right now. That's why they're not doing that. That's not what I wanted to show you. I didn't post a link. Y'all want to post it. How Chinese companies are bypassing the tariffs. Don't really care about that. Not at the moment. Russia and China united over the D-Day snub. Oh, this is what I wanted to show. Check this out.
What are you thinking?
Not that.
I'm
What's
thinking
that?
zombies.
Oh, that's a zombie movie.
You know,
Never mind.
ghouls.
We gotta get prepared.
Watch zombie.
It's all gonna be okay.
Important.
I doubt it.
The dead don't die, make it on.
From the national headquarters of RT America, Capital. Hello again, everybody. I'm Rick Sanchez. So,
The zombie apocalypse is coming. There's people who can't grow any food and they depend on their government to take care of.
in case you haven't heard, there has been this large gathering of world leaders in the UK to commemorate World War II. In fact, here is the photo that memorializes it. We've got it for you. Look at this, huh? Impressive. The Queen is there, Mr. Trump is there, Canada's Justin Trudeau is there, France's Emmanuel Macron is there, the UK's Theresa May is there, and so are the leaders from Slovakia and Poland and Luxembourg and Norway and Belgium, Czech Republic, Australia, Denmark, Holland, New Zealand. All of the countries that came together in this world to defeat Germany. But wait, who's that in the front row? Have we got that picture again? Who's that? That's Angela Merkel. How can Germany be part of a gathering of countries that came together to defeat Germany? No doubt it's a gracious gesture, right? To illustrate how we move on, how we forgive, we forget. How world leaders can come together to prove that even foes, new and old, should unite for the good of the whole. Except, if that is indeed the case, then where are the two countries that paid, in fact, the highest toll in terms of blood and treasure during World War II? 27 million Russians were killed during the war. The next closest country in World War II? China, 20 million. That's 47 million deaths between those two countries, which is more than the total of all the other WW2 deaths of every single country in the world combined. I mean, 60 countries. Cuba had 100 people die. Looked that up today. I didn't know that. That's right. The combined death toll of every single country in the world, including Nazi Germany, is 38 million. While the number of deaths in Russia and China was 47 million. Did you know that? Yet Russia and China were deliberately excluded from a gathering celebrating the countries that came together and sacrificed during World War II. So what did they do, these two countries? There you have it. They held their own meeting. That's Russia's Vladimir Putin and China's Xi Jinping, with all the pomp and circumstances required of a formal state gathering, forced to have their own World War II commemoration and summit, where they discussed mutual cooperation on specific economic and military issues. What did they discuss? And might their exclusion backfire on the West? We're going to drill down on this for you as we bring you another edition of the News with Rick Sanchez, where we have come to believe, and we think you believe it now too, that it's time to do news again. Who's joining us now? Jim Jatras, perfect guest to have. Why? Former U.S. diplomat. Talk about diplomacy. How smart or unsmart is it to have a World War II commemorative gathering and not invite China and Russia, who, as I said, collectively lost 47 million souls?
Well, let's be fair here, Rick. I mean, without the Germans, we couldn't have had this celebration, so it's only fair to invite them. Oh, no, obviously the Chinese and the Russians should have been there.
You kid because you can, right?
Let's remember, the Russians launched Operation Bagration, one of the biggest offensives of the war, to coincide with D-Day to make sure the Germans couldn't deploy forces. What if they hadn't done that? What if Hitler had brought those panzers in when all those boys were getting mowed down on the beach? Would that have changed the celebration a little bit? And as far as the Chinese, of course, yeah, they should have been there as well.
You know, you and I have seen pictures so many times. In fact, it kind of fills us with pride. After the war, we saw Winston Churchill and Stalin and Roosevelt sitting there in that iconic photo. It almost seems.
I'll let you go back and watch it, but I saw this and I started smiling because I like examples. I like it. Well, you know what? It's not that my friends and I, we like being right. We actually want to be dead wrong. But you look around, you look at these countries. Look at the countries that were invited, the ones that weren't. You say, oh, because we're getting along in current economic situations, and Russia and China is evil because Russia's fixing elections and China's making the goods and we got a trade war. And that's why. That makes sense. I mean, even in watching this, Rick Sanchez and RT, I was kind of like their whole reason why is because, oh, well, these were all of America's puppets. I'm like, nope, that's not it. That's not an answer to test. Y'all remember this going back a little while. There's some similarities between the people who were actually sitting in the crowd and who isn't. And I don't know, let me go down the list. Let me make sure I'm right, because I kind of think that the people who were invited were the people who had Rothchild central banking systems. Remember, look at these indicators. Let me see. Let's look in the crowd. Is North Korea there? Nope, North Korea ain't there. Is Venezuela? Nope, damn sure Venezuela ain't there. Is Iran? Nope, Iran wasn't invited. Syria? Nope, they're not invited. Cuba, nobody in the crowd. Cuban. Iceland? I don't think Iceland's there. Y'all, let's go back and listen. China, top of the list. Russia, top of the list. And Hungary. So only ones I don't know about Iceland and Hungary. Who running Iceland? Anybody hungry? Why? Because it makes sense. Central banking runs the world. They're deciding. The people who own the central banks decide what happens in the world, who gets invited to the party. Not your president, not your geopolitics. It's all given to you, fake, a lie, and fantasy and phony. Now, let me see if I'm wrong.
Justin Trudeau is there. France's Emmanuel Macron is there. The UK's Theresa May is there. And so are the leaders from Slovakia and Poland and Luxembourg and Norway and Belgium, Czech Republic, Australia, Denmark, Holland, New Zealand. All of the countries that came together in this world to defeat
all of the non-Rothchild, all of the Rothchild central banking countries were there. Now y'all see why I don't play politics. Just example after example after example after example after example after example till we just get it. More people died from China and Russia than all the rest of them. Even Germany's there. Why? Because they're always funding all sides of the war. Always. So I asked this question this morning. Look how sad they look. Look how sad. Look at that. Look at that. They look sad. They're like, I don't know. You think we should get Rothschild central banks too? Nah, look at America. I ain't doing that. They basically a slave labor camp. That's why I asked people the other day. I asked them this morning. I said, what's the difference between a forced labor camp in Nazi Germany and America? What's the difference in your society? Any differences? Any difference in the model? Forced labor, you work or you die. Is there any difference in that model? They're like, but capitalism. We're kind of elite socialism and neoliberal neocons. Central banking runs the planet. They decide every damn thing. All right. And there are a couple more things I wanted to show you, but I thought that one was interesting. Very interesting. Know who owns you. Know who your owners are. Understand who is making all the decisions on healthcare, police state, immigration, walls, nuclear weapons, and war. None of it are your politicians. Real world is ugly, but as an adult, you need to look at it, grow the hell up. Start making decisions based on how the world actually works, not how you want it to work. It will never work how it's on television. Why? Because television is owned by the billionaires, and you don't tell on yourself, nor do billionaires tell on yourself either. Like you out there cheating on your husband. You come home telling yourself, do you? Out there cheating on your wife. You come home telling on yourself? No, billionaires don't tell on themselves either. Time to grow up and just accept the model of this planet so we can fix it. All right, here we are. Let me see what else. Anything else so I can go? Oh, the U.S. booming economy, which is not booming. It's fake news, complete fake news. And this is the one where they had the Russia quote. That was, not the Russia quote, the Trump quote. But he messed it up. The Federal Reserve The Federal Reserve is worse than China or more of a threat than China because of its interest. No, it's not because of its interest. It's because of the fact that it owns the country. It prints the money and the politicians have no say because of it. But I almost gave Trump credit on that. I'm glad that he said that though. He was right on that. He's just wrong on the reason. China fires space rocket, new space race is on. Oh yeah, that's right. China's getting sustainable. They made their own floating rocket, shot it up in the air, competing with the other space race people. I think it's kind of important. I think it's important we become like an ant colony. Why? Because the aliens are real and they're always coming. They're just not interested in us right now. They just have no interest. This is what I think. And I changed my mind on something else too. Changed my mind. Because when I listen to people, I try to break it down. Why the aliens don't come up and show up to everybody all the damn time? Because they don't care. I'm known for saying the aliens are nice people. They learn to work as a collective and get off their planet. I don't think that's true. I think I'm wrong. I think I'm wrong. Because if we can get off of our continent being evil, then damn sure we can get off our planet being evil. And as above, so below. And so I think aliens aren't good nor bad. I think they're just like humans. I think they come in all the flavors humans come in. Because some will get off and some won't get off. And we're just not interested. I just think that they are good and they're evil. There's not a such thing as aliens. It's just a bunch of different cultures and civilizations just here on ignorant planet, ignorant slave colony planet. Except for they have godlike magical technologies that we need to be concerned with. Why? Because some of those aliens aren't going to be 1 billion years old and they're not interested in us. Like, I think most of them aren't interested in us. If you can travel in time and jump from universe to universe, you're going to go to the most exciting places to go. You're going to do the fun things. You're going to do what we do. As above, so below. That's why I don't go to Disney World. It's not exciting. I've been there. I know a lot of y'all like to go. People like commercial stuff. I like to explore and scout. I don't have time to go to the ants or the monkeys and bring them health care. Like Walter asked this question. He said, well, are the aliens, why don't they come and bring us free energy? You know, he's trolling. He thinks he's funny. Nah, not really funny. Because do we go to the monkeys and bring them free energy? We do. We bring them free energy-ish. When we take them, put them in chains, put them in cages in the zoo and take pictures of them. When we take their freedom. Right now, there could be some alien ships like, what's the guy named? Ronald Reagan said, on their way here right now. And they're not going to give us free energy in exchange for nothing. So anyway, I think it's important that we stop fighting each other. I think it's important that we realize that we are this big in a universe that's infinite. We aren't useless. We're not nothing, but we're this big. We need to get a little bigger. And we're not going to get bigger killing each other and stealing what each other got. All right, let me see. Yeah, that's more criminalizing the cowardice. That's the coward police, blah, 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 blah. All right, that's good. That's it. I'm done. All right, let's look at comments, and I'm going to run. Be like the ants. One time at band camp, we had a chance to fix the earth, and we decided not to. One time at band camp, we had a civilization of humans that finally grew the hell up. They finally had an internet. Actually, wasn't the first time, but this time, and they knew that they were in a universe with a lot of other things that may not be friendly with unfriendly technology. And maybe we should work like a collective instead of psychopathically criminal to each other. It's like disagreement. Somebody posted something on disagreement the other day, and I loved it. It had me thinking. You know, the most important people to the collective productivity, efficiency, and evolution of you socially, the human race socially, financially, physically, whatever you want to say technologically, the most important people are the people who disagree with you, not agree with you. The most important people are the ones who disagree with you, because those are the ones who are helping you tweak your thoughts. They're ones helping you tweak your solutions. And coming from the engineering background I had, those are the people you want to spend time with the most when you went in that board meeting and put your project on the table. Here's my project. Here's my model. You didn't care with the people who like clapping hands like, oh, your model's so good. Oh, I didn't even read it, but it's good because I like him. He in my department. I like him. No, the most important person in the meeting was the person who disagreed. They said, no, your model has a flawed. Why? Because you don't want to go through spending $5 million putting this model together and it fails. The most important person is the person that disagrees with you. This is why you got to think about the human race as a human race. You got to think about the end terms. Are we working together to make better solutions or fighting each other? People who disagree with you are people you need to pull closer and have more discourse with. They're not people you should push away and join a political party so you can be in your own little ignorant circle so you can keep building a model for society that has flaws, that doesn't work for everybody, that's going to break and kill all us. Kill all us. The most important people are the people who disagree with you. You don't need to agree with people. You need to disagree with people because we're all together. We're all 7 billion family members working together on this planet trying to get off. Because, you know, our biggest problem is there's planets out there, they're working together. They ain't stupid like us. They're working together like an ant colony where they're all individuals working together, all being born for something great. Some of them good at music, some good at engineering, some good at science, some good at math, some passion, and some just like to look at the butterflies and just, ooh, I love butterflies. And that's okay. They need to be raised liking butterflies. And one day they'll notice something after 30, 40, 50 years of being lazy and shiftless and all the things that you don't want people to be in society because you want them to be a happy slave like you and labor away for Rothchilds. And that one child at the age of 72 realizes butterflies got anti-gravity. I'm noticing that they're not actually not the flapping of their wings and pushing of the physical air, but it's possibly some sort of anti-gravity method. And the whole world changes because that child had a gift. That child had a passion to observe the butterflies. I said that for a reason, because y'all know there's that guy who had did the anti-gravity floating board. You know, people don't talk about that guy. He's Russian. That's why y'all don't talk about him much. He's a Russian, came up with the anti-gravity, the floating platform, and people saw it. It was in the news, and they saw him just floating around on it because he found out the wings of a certain insect were made of certain shapes. And it was the sound, vibration, because everything is wave and vibration, that actually allowed the platform to float by taking the wings and murdering all these insects and put them in a platform. But you don't hear about that. Why? Because anybody who comes with anti-gravity, they disappear. But anyway, that's where I'm coming from. Let me do some comments. One time at band camp, we had a chance to fix the planet. We had a chance to fix the human race. We had a chance to evolve, and we decided not to. Because we're just as greedy as the big corporations, and we wanted to keep the monetary system and stay organized. I think I'm against organizations, y'all. Not just the organizations. I think I'm against human organization. We shouldn't be organized. We don't even know what we are. We don't even know what sends us here. We don't know what's important to the future. Butterflies might be more important to the future than sending kids to college for science, math, and English. We just don't know. We don't know. Ants don't have anyone telling them what to do. They're born with passions, they're born with abilities, and they go do it. I think the human race might be the same way. I don't think we should be organized. All right, we've already nuked ourselves, betting windows closed. Well, Brenda, I don't think it's too late. Might be too late. I don't know. But it's 10/18/2019. I don't think it's too late. But you know what? I think you always got to try. Whether it's too late or not, I think you always got to try, because we always tend to get a Hail Mary at the last minute. Humans, we 98% monkeys. We should have gone extinct a long time ago. But there's always a Hail Mary at the last minute. That's what I do think when it comes to the good aliens. I think there's some good ones out there, and I know because that's where all the religions came from. I think there are a few good ones out there that give us math, science, English, geometry, calculus, the Nikola Teslas, the Einsteins, or whatever. I think that we get help at the last minute, but we're allowed to feel that pain because I think we're being led in certain directions. So I think we never can give up. We always got to push through. We always got to try to get better at what we do. When society starts deteriorating, scapegoating becomes the norm. It's never us, it's always them. Yes, Augustine, and you have to label them to be a them, and that's what the labels usually are. It's a them. We like to label people because in scarce times we become these little psychopaths because we don't have the things we want, so we steal them from everybody else, or we don't have the things we need, And so we'll flock to those labels to go murder other people and steal what they have. But if you're 7 billion different type of creatures with no labels and you're dynamic and you change all the time, it's harder to get people to get together and go do mass rape and mass destruction and war. It's the abuse of labels that becomes the problem. It is, Marilyn. I think it's everything. I think it's from the very beginning. I think it's the very beginning of applying a label to something that's dynamic. Taking a process of giving it a grouping of a creature that's not even groupable. And by the time you group it, it's shifted. If we're not broken up into individual groups, then we can't be used as cogs, as violations become impossible if you don't have labels, right? Because I can't say I'm more like you than them, come with me and let's rob them. It's impossible to do that. Like, I don't think, it's like money. Money's just energy, and I don't think energy's bad. I don't think money's bad. I don't think labels are bad. But in a de-evolved species, it's devastating. We aren't evolved enough to have labels. We're not evolved enough to have money. We're not evolved enough to have any power over anybody. Who's that? Brother Daniel? Daniel is not evolved enough to have any power over Brenda. Brenda not evolved enough to have any power over Augustine. Some of us are forward thinking, but we should not have power over each other because we don't know what each other is. It's our job just to love each other and do all the things the alien guys do all the things that those creatures that came here a long time ago told us to do. Love each other, respect each other, and things will go the way that they should. All things are decent, are done decently in order until the Rothschilds reorder them, until the Rockefellers reorder them. All right, what else we got? Differences in the degree. Absolutely, Nora. The differences in the degree from between the forced labor camps in World War II with the Nazis and the model of the United States society. I don't know about Canada. It looks that way. I don't know about Britain. It looks that way. The only difference is the degree. I'm not even sure. I don't know, Nora, if I even agree with that. I think it just depends on perspective. Right? Like, if one person is thrown in a closet, raped and burned so nobody finds the evidence, then to me everybody is. Like, an injustice anywhere to me is an injustice everywhere. The same way Martin Luther King said it. The same things that happened in the Dark Ages happen today. The same thing that happened in the slave labor camps happen today. We're either getting rid of that or we're not. Like, to that woman who was thrown in the closet, raped and burned to death, to her, the degree didn't matter, right? Percentages don't really matter. You know, one injustice, if we're all one, it applies to everybody. So the fact that things that happened in forced labor camps in World War II by these Nazis, these great evil people, the fact that our government does it today, the fact that government allows it to be done today, means that it's done to everybody. If we're all one, then it's done to everybody. So I don't think there's any difference between forced labor camps and today. We're either trying to change that or we're not. What else y'all got? Let's get out of here. Linda said, have a beautiful day. It is a beautiful day. Yes, and I will. Thank you so much. You have a beautiful day as well. Every day is beautiful. Hoarding the money causes the problems. It's complicated. Con artists make it seem complicated. Right, it's not complicated, Brenda, because when you have nothing, you're okay. You're sustainable. When you get more, you got to get more. You got to get the new house, got to get the next car, got to move to the new neighborhood. And neighbors get this. You got to have this. And now you're in a neighborhood that gets robbed because the poor people come rob you. Now you got a security system. Now you got to get a car with an enhanced security system. Now you need to get a different bank account, have money offshore to protect yourself because your neighbors do. And so it's like it's this never-ending free fall, right? Like, there's no difference between the corporations and Pfizer that's actually hiding cures to the plague with all the rest of the pharmaceutical companies and us. Money breaks us. Money, giving a creature energy, too much energy, more energy than its share. Let's say it that way. It breaks them. When everybody just has their share and not having more than your share, it just isn't possible. Human beings become what they're supposed to be. They become like the ants. Ones that are good at defense, go defend. Ones that are good at butterflies, go butterfly. The ones good at science, go science. But as long as you got a monetary system, they'll go for the hoarding solution, and we'll lose out on maximum efficiencies. And whatever's guiding all of this, whatever's sending us here, they don't get their will. The Rothschilds and Rockefellers get their will. The ones who were slick enough to play us, the ones that we consent to. The rat population is increasing greatly. Folks talking about bubonic plague in Cali. You know what, Rebecca? And I would believe that. And that actually would make good biological sense. Why? Because we're slowly going back to being as sick as the people were back then. You know, we got people in their 30s and 40s dying. We got kids with cardiovascular disease at 10. So hell yeah, our immune systems are being broken down. And the real question is gonna be, Rebecca, why? Why are people so happy to destroy their own immune systems? And leads us back to big pharma, leads us back to big chemical companies, leads us back to oligarchy. They're breaking down people's immune systems. Well, I don't think there's a mass evil mind behind it. It's just people in ignorance. You know, they watch TV and they believe what they see on TV, that Twinkies are healthy. They believe they're supposed to eat cereal every day. They believe that, you know, having pesticides and carcinogens in their food is a good idea. Their immune system is busy fighting all of that. That is not fighting the plague. You know, it's like everybody's got all the viruses and disease causers in them. And the only reason you're on 2 feet is because your body's beating it down. But when you start taking antibiotics, you start poisoning your body, giving your immune system other things to do. You start working in a forced labor camp job as an accountant, a banker, a lawyer, an engineer, doing something you hate for people that you hate, around people you don't like, for 60 hours a week, stressing you out because you're doing the TPS reports. And what does your immune system do? It shuts down. Why? Because all the cells in your body say, we're stressed. We're being chased by a bear. We need to put energy into defense and healing wounds and other energies. We don't need to fight cancer. We don't need to fight Alzheimer's. We don't need to fight cardiovascular disease. We need to be in defensive lockdown mode. And that's what those 50 trillion cells do. They go in lockdown mode. So when the bubonic plague comes because a mouse crawls in your closet and poops on your Cheerios, you get it. That's not surprising to me. A plague is waiting to come. The zombie apocalypse is coming because we're stupid. We've evolved forward. We got this internet. We're all interconnected. We can now do what failed in the past, and we've decided not to. It's like I was looking at the keystone, the metal keys for the corner blocks, right? What they found from all the civilizations going back thousands of years, right? Somebody went around the world on every continent and gave away the technology of building stone blocks with metal keys that lock the blocks together. That's an interconnected, intercontinental civilization. So we literally had an internet before in the past. What happened to all those people? What happened to that circumnavigating civilization like us from back then? They all are gone. Gone. All of them. And I think we're just the ancestors of those people who attained great technology like we have today. But they were missing something. And it wasn't technology. I think they were missing the ability to work together. They were missing that ability to grow up and act like a collective and stop building societies like forced labor camps. They didn't have the ability to say no to the greed. Right? And this is what the Egyptian priests told Solomon. The stories of Atlantis, that they were a great civilization back when they embraced liberty and freedom. But then they became greedy, that hoarding thing. They put a few elites in control. And when disaster came, or the aliens, I don't know which, they all died. You know, we're either working towards each other and we're learning from higher evolved species like ants, or we're just waiting for us to get wiped out. Start all over again. Don't eat the Cheerios. No, Nora, don't eat the Cheerios. I think Cheerios, they have all the glyphosates in them, right? They have all of that carcinogen in them. Yes, California foothills had many butterflies last year, right, Jeannie? And some little kid needs to be out there just studying the butterflies and figure out why they're here. What are their evolutionary advantages? And figuring out how we make that, hand that to the engineers and technology and move us forward. That's who we are. And we need to be okay with robots growing food and building houses for her to go do that, because we need to evolve and move forward and stop trying to give each other the pain that we have. Misery loves company, and we all die when you keep giving misery endless company. Were all the continents physically connected? Don't know. Well, they say so, Rebecca. They say in Pangea, was that millions of years ago that all the continents were connected, millions of years ago? Either way, that is a crazy, crazy idea. They were still all interconnected then. Millions of years ago, they had technologies we don't have today. All right, anyway, I got to get going. This is Gerard. I'm gone.